Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Sepia Tears. We are going to move on into day 2. Winter strolls. Darkness. The blackness is thick, mud-like. I look around me, but it's clear I'm the only one here. But there should be another. She might enjoy hide and seek, but I have a hunch that she isn't very good at it. My heart races alongside my feet. What's going on? My body feels light. Just a little more. She's close. I know it. This song. I know I've heard it before. But where? Ah! Rin, I'm warning you. If that song continues for another minute, I'll... Who the heck leaves their ringtone on max on a Saturday morning? The next thing I hear is the sound of rushing water as I prepare for the morning. There's something odd about the lucidity of that dream. 2 days in a row, too. Unless it is mirrors doing somehow. Except, no, this can't be anything more than a coincidence. I'll approach it logically. For one thing, I never did figure out how she disappeared from the roof. She couldn't have jumped to the ground from that distance, much less without a single footprint. There was a soft noise after she jumped, but that was it. Maybe she jumped onto a balcony or something. But then where did she vanish to? Although the real question is why anyone would do that to begin with. She knew what school I went to, too. Did she know where I live? She somehow knew what road I took home. But if she knows me, why do I not recognize her? No, this is all wrong. The dream doesn't make sense. None of this makes sense. It doesn't even matter. If she wants to dig up my memories, she'll have to try harder than that. Alright then, breakfast. I'm up before Rin for once. This is more rare of an occurrence than it should be. Morning, Oni-chan. I glare at her. She stops. So, was there one of your friends calling this morning? Yeah, sort of. I told her to call last night, but she missed me, so... She scratches the back of her head and gives the best oops sorry look. You know, that ringtone of yours woke me up this morning. Really? Sorry. It's not back for a fake blush, but it's not superb. 6 out of 10. Did I mention I was having a nice dream when I was so rudely awoken? Oh? Were you dreaming about Lillian? Of course not. I slammed the coffee mug down, but it doesn't earn as much as a flinch. Instead... Oh, so you weren't dreaming about her. Then what are you complaining about? By the way, you were going to Lucas' place to study today, right? The tables have turned. Perhaps. Oh, okay. You were going to fail your exams and repeat a year of me in your class then. Well then, you know what you have to do. It's cold. Mark, I'm the one who should be saying that. It's freezing. Neither of us are willing to step into the attack range of the icy wind. Are you sure you want to go through with this? It's not like we're actually going to study. I know, but I got the new Couple Axo game. Don't you understand? What the hell is a Couple Axo? It's cheap Japanese style censorship. They never guess what we're really talking about. And who exactly is they? You know, them. No one's listening. Although a mirror around, I can't be so sure. Rin and I walk over to Lux's place without any mishaps, plus or minus a few frozen fingers. Ooh, I hope he turned the heat on. I can't play when my fingers are cold. Don't worry, I'm sure he's comfortably huddled up in front of his computer. You'll see. The bell rings, and no one answers. What? That's odd. I just called and he said we'll be here. I'm gonna freeze to death out here. Aren't you at least a little worried that I'll freeze to death as well? Oh, Mark. How silly. You know I'll be gone before you. That's not the response I was looking for. Well, looks like there's only one thing we can do. Rin glanced mischievously at the front door. I have a bad feeling about this. 1, 2. What's this? A heavenly silhouette has come to harvest my soul already? Life is what it is, I suppose. Goodbye, cruel world. Oh my god, what the hell is that? Ouch. What just happened? I'm greeted by Rin's worried face. Alright, that's enough, I'm alive already. No need to curse me any further. That was dangerous. Don't you know you shouldn't lunge at someone's feet if you're temple? Someone could have gotten hurt. Someone. Your eyes do seem a little teary though. Rin, just so you know, it isn't polite to charge into other people's front doors without permission. Oh. I am sorry. This makes the pulsing in my head a tad more bearable. Maybe that's just the code. Ah, look, there he is. Hey, sorry I'm late. I had to run out and grab some things for lunch. Did I keep you waiting long? He looks around. There's an indentation in the snow scattered around his walkway. Rin is leaning on her left foot because her right is sore from the impact, and I'm too dizzy to tell what's happening. He looks from the indentation to Rin to my head and then back to the indentation. Then he shrugs and unlocks the door. Grab whatever you want to eat. I'll meet you in my room in a few minutes. I start to thaw as we step inside. Ooh, he got a new Choco and Ice book. Guess the guilt's worn off already. She scampers into Lucas's room and begins snooping around. I'm surrounded by 2D girls. This is heaven. Literally heaven. I escape from Rin before my soul gets sucked out of me. In the middle of the mess sits a cluttered desk with a glowing monitor. A glowing monitor? So he left his computer on and unguarded? I see. I admit that I'm curious, but am I that curious? Well, I'm pretty damn curious. Let's do this. I reach for the mouse and clear the screensaver with a daring poke. That's slightly disappointing, actually. He's just enjoying his regular dose of... Oni-chan, have you finally given in to your temptations? Uh-oh. I knew it was only a matter of time. Okay, alright. I got this. I'll take a deep breath and try to think of an excuse. This isn't the time to be taking deep breaths. Don't think, just talk. I will suggest. Correction, don't think, just say something coherent. Really, there's no need to be shy. We both knew it was going to happen someday. It's not what it looks like, I swear. This computer was like this when I got here. It's okay, Mark. It's normal to be curious. Well, I regret asking precisely what you mean by curious. Well, you know. From looking at the screen, it's clear they're about to... I see you finally fallen, Mark. Every time he laughs like that, he does it for a reason. If you ever want to borrow anything, don't hesitate to ask. I'm always willing to add the unenlightened in your journey to paradise. Lucas used Dark Invitation. It's super effective. I fainted, along with my reputation. Womp womp womp. Well, I guess that's the end of that. Lucas brings us a few glasses of water and sits down. I would ask why he only has water when he just came back from the grocery store, but he probably has other uses for his money. Like 2D girls. It's art, not porn. So, have you guys decided what you want to do? You can always take turns beating Mark in that new fighting game. Sounds like a plan. Don't I get a say in any of this? It's been a while. I remember when Rin and I used to come over here all the time, doing nothing but sitting around and chatting over some video games. It's strange. Part of me feels like those days have vanished. Are they gone forever? They couldn't be. But even if we're doing the same old things, I can't help but glance out the window from time to time. Mostly when my chest tightens. Oh, Mark, you're blushing. I'm not. Right, 3 years ago. It's alright, I'm not teasing you. Well, maybe just a little. It's strange. I was different back then, but she's hardly changed at all. Cut it out already, I'm not in the mood. Of course you'd say that. Maybe so, but that doesn't make it any less true. Don't you have anything to do? Not really. Unless you count homework. You've been on the computer all day, haven't you? I noticed you didn't end that sentence with a question mark. But school is boring. Besides, it's not like you're doing anything other than moping around. I told you, I'm not. Her expression stops me in my tracks. I'm going upstairs. Leave me alone. Fine. I'll just bother you again tomorrow. I turn to leave, but I feel her eyes on my back. I walk away. That was me. It's surreal. Was that really how I felt back then? It all seems to have faded over time. Or maybe I just got numb. But that's no excuse to have ignored her like that. I'm sure she knows. She's not that dense. Someday I owe her a nice long talk. I wanted to know that I care about her. I don't care about you anymore, Mark. Did I win? You won. Huh. Who'd have thought? Just you wait. I'll have my revenge next time. You say that every time. Fine then. Again. I'll try again. Salty run back. Let's go. Money match. We're gonna be here for a while, aren't we? By the time we left, our final score was 7-2 for her. Ani-chan, stop thinking so much. It's bad for your complexion. What? Oh, I guess we're already on the train. Complexion aside, yeah, I guess you're right. Right about what? The fact that you should stop thinking about Lillian? How can you say that with a straight face? Years of practice. Anyway, that's not what I was thinking about. I see. Then were you thinking of a way to admit to Lucas that you want to borrow one of his games? Let's just say I had a lot to think about lately. I think that's sufficiently vague and truthful. Yeah, figures. Her voice trails off as she sinks into the background. If that doesn't say out of character, I don't know what does. You okay, Rin? Huh? Of course I'm fine. You're the one I was worried about. Did you just say you were No! You're not actually mad, are you? Of course I'm mad. Doesn't the pop vein make it obvious? Sorry. It's just so rare that I get a chance to tease you. It doesn't count as teasing when you're cheating. How exactly am I cheating? I haven't figured that one out yet. Seriously. I try to mess with you by snapping you out of your daydream, and this is what I get. Not bad, I admit, that was a pretty good play. Wait, so this was all a plan to mess with my head? I wasn't actually worried about you or anything, I just didn't want you to fall asleep on some poor girl's shoulder. I guess I should have reminded her that I'm standing, not sitting. That aside, what made you think there was a reason to be worried? Well, you've been zoning a lot lately, and you were gazing out the window like an actor in a soap opera, and you've been distant lately. That's all. Perceptive. Sorry. I know, it's no big deal. You have your own life, and I know there are things you wouldn't tell me about. Don't say it like that. It won't be long, alright? There's something I need to sort out. That's all. The train screeches to a halt at our destination. Rin grins as she pulls Lucas off his gaming device, but I can tell it's a thin coat of paint. It's uncomfortably cold. Not bitterly cold, but uncomfortably. Just enough to make you wish you brought your gloves when your breath is barely visible. It's a late fall equivalent of those drizzly days where you can't quite decide if it's worth taking out your umbrella. It's nostalgic. I pace back and forth to clear my mind, but it doesn't work. It's been years since I've seen him. Years. I should be excited, but something feels off. Gosh, it's cold. I'm not sure what I was expecting. Was he supposed to be the star of the football team? An emotional wreck? Just another guy? There's no way he's forgotten everything that's happened. I was struck with the strangest feeling when I talked to him the other day. He was mesmerized, of course, but his eyes were empty. It was like staring through frosted glass, virtually opaque. but I can't lose focus just yet. I just wish I could shake the feeling that he isn't who he used to be. I guess 3 years is a long time. Mark, look! We're finally here. Where are we going again? The mall? The what? Feel free to browse, everyone. New customers always appreciate it. Rika-chan dayo. Yes, you'll be amazed. You have an endless amount of products. It's time. Seventh expansion is doing a meet and greet session. It's time. The Golden Land awaits us. Just so I'm clear, this is a store, right? Well, yes. Okay, just checking. Oh then. I don't really want to ditch them. When I consider the possibility of what's behind those doors. What's the worst that could happen? We just get viciously murdered by a lot of crazy people. Alright, I'll bite the bullet. Kick common sense to the curb and what have you. I'm going in. I think I've heard Lucas mention that game. Maybe they're lining up for pre-orders? As I wander to the back of the store in search of wherever Rin and Lucas vanished to, I stumble upon bits and pieces of conversation. I'm telling you, it's gonna be awesome. Pre-orders going up next week. I hear the TV station site has an exclusive pillow cover too. Huh? I even know a guy who can get it across the border for you. I'm out of here. A gust of cold breeze strikes my cheek. The hell? I look up and I find myself outside. Daydreams are a powerful thing. Okay, what now? The air cools my lungs with every breath, but it's refreshing in its own way. It isn't too late yet, but the sun is already starting to set. Refreshed, I decide to take the scenic road back to the mall entrance. Did I just catch a glimpse of a UFO? Bigfoot? Oh no, sorry. It's just daydreaming Lillian. Oh. Hey Mark, strange to see you out on a Saturday. Shopping of Rin, I suppose? She blurts out a barrage of words. I might regret asking about this, but what were you thinking about just now? Nothing you need to worry about. She tries to glare angrily at me, but I can't quite say it's working. It wouldn't happen to have much to do with that shopping bag on the bench next to you. Of course not. Anyway, what are you doing out here? This isn't exactly weather for lounging. It's not weather for strolling either. You're sharp as ever. Me? Sharp? I'm not like this around everyone. What? Is there something on my face? Well, no, it's just... That sounded more coherent in my head. See, I'm only sharp around my slow-witted friends. I wouldn't go out of my way to slow-witted. So that's what she meant. Sorry, I didn't mean... I laugh a resigned laugh. It's alright. Don't worry about it. I know you weren't implying anything. You're right. Sorry. You don't need to apologize. It's futile. Anyway, let's go for a walk? Sure, I'm just about fully rested. Right. Let's go. I look away unconsciously as my stomach flips itself over. I can't believe I sat there for so long. It's cold. Yeah, it is. Rin and I almost died this morning. What? It's nothing you need to worry about. I guess some stories are better left untold. But that reminds me, my head seems to have stopped hurting. You can go inside if you want. I'm sure they'll be able to find us. No, it's alright. Besides, it's a nice day, don't you think? Yeah, I guess it is. I fidget with whatever I can find in my pocket. How are things going with the library committee? Oh, we haven't had anything much to do for a while. Things are winding down for the holidays. And I suppose you have no need to worry about midterms. Well, I usually spend about an hour a day studying, so there's no need to worry about tests. Schoolwork is easy once you study regularly. I know what she's gonna say before she even says it. Shouldn't you be worrying about your tests, Mark? I'll get through it somehow? Wait, let me explain. You see, some people are born hardworking, others aren't. I happen to fall into the latter category. That's your explanation. She shouts and hits me on the head. Literally. You know, if you don't work hard now, you'll never get into a good university. And if you don't do that, you'll never get a good job. Then you'll never make good money. Doesn't this bother you even a little? Well, I guess you could say that it bothers me a little. It really doesn't bother me at all. You're doing badly enough as it is. What would happen if I weren't here to keep you on your toes like this? I'd probably be sleeping on the roof at school and playing video games at home, actually. You'd probably sneak onto the roof at school to nap your classes away and waste your time at home on games. That's what you'd be doing. Okay, you got me. Good. Honestly, you'd be helpless without me. And I suppose it's a good thing I have you around. Silence. The crowd, the traffic, the constant droning of nature all disappear. You're right. It really is a good thing. But if you seriously want to repay me, all you have to do is take care of yourself. Right. I'm taking a sharp breath of cold air. Just what I need to cool my cheeks. You should come over. Anytime this week is fine. You can come over and I'll help you review. Oh, sure. That will help. It's fine of you, right? Yeah. My voice vanishes in a puff of condensation as the sun strikes my eyes, and... Hang on, I shouldn't lie to you. I'm not really asking you to come over to study. I open my mouth, but nothing comes out. It was just like with Mira. Constraining, suffocating, dizzying. There's something I need to tell you. You don't mind, right? No, I mean... Maybe I shouldn't. It make things more complicated, and... It's okay. I'll listen. I squint in the sunset. I hear her, silently. Are you sure? Wouldn't this be a burden on you? Am I making the right choice? Are you sure you're ready to face your past? But in the end, it's probably just the sound of my own monologue. Thank you, Mark. Her words turn to condensation before I can hear them. I think I might really need your help. I'll protect you no matter what. That line crosses my mind, but of course I could never bring myself to say it. I'll do what I can to help. As if it were all nothing more than a daydream, she steps towards me and the world starts spinning again. I'm still not sure what I'll do, but I appreciate it if you could come over, even if it's only as a favor. Don't worry about it. Besides, I always owe you favors, don't I? I mentally whine about the weather as my feet kick at the frozen dirt. Nothing happened. Nothing at all. I talked to a friend about schoolwork and she invited me over to study and... Why? Why her? Why not her? Ouch. A bruise materializes on one of my knuckles after I punch the bench. Unsurprisingly. Screw it. This is a waste of time. I try to push myself off the bench, but... Leaving already? That voice. I should be surprised, but somehow it feels like the most natural thing in the world. Mira, what are you doing here? I could ask the same of you, but I won't. So let's drop the subject. A smile is a few times more soothing than a punch to the bench. Actually, now that she's here, maybe I can get some information out of her. You know, Mira, I forgot to It's a nice evening, don't you think? The weather. Again. I guess I can't deny that. I'm glad you agree. Shall we go for a walk? Well played, Mira. You're good at changing the subject. But you're not teleporting out of here this time. So, have you read any good books lately? I wonder why she didn't seem this cheerful when we first met. Sorry to change the subject, but are we lost? We ended up wandering around the park after we left, but the trees seem to have closed in around us. Now that you mention it, you gotta be kidding me. So, have you ever read any good books lately? You gotta be kidding me. Kidding? You mean you didn't like anything that came out last month? She can't be that dense, can she? I'm not really into modern literature. Ah, so you prefer the classics then? She beams at me innocently. I almost let out a sigh. No, I mean, I'm not into reading in general. Sorry. What about movies? Movies work too. Oh, let's see. There's that horror movie of the zombies. What was it called again? That's not very specific. Oh, I saw the one of the Spartans. That was pretty cool. She lifts her foot as if to kick me into an abyss. Well, if you're ever bored, you can borrow books or a few movies from me anytime. My father pretty much has an entire library in our basement. Oh, that's right. So you're interested? More importantly, your father. You're interested in my father? No, not that. I mean, your father. Who is he? She looks a little uncomfortable. Well, I suppose I'm partly to blame for that. Are you stalking me, Mark? Pot, meat, kettle. Okay, wait. Let me start over. What I'm getting at is, what's your family like? Is that really the kind of question you need to think about? Or, what kind of house do you live in? Where do you live, for that matter? Do you have any siblings then? What school do you go to? Mark, why do you want to know all this? This time I sigh audibly. Okay, time for plan B. Well then, let me just tell you outright. I have virtually no idea who you are, and yet you seem to know me pretty well. Isn't that odd? I guess. Let me put it this way. I figured that in order for us to continue seeing each other and for me to help you, I should try and get to know you better. It will make it easier for you to find out what you're searching for. For us to regain our lost time is what I was thinking, but... Oh, I see. Sorry. It's just that I was warned by my parents to be wary about strangers. Strangers? If we're strangers, then how did you know my name before we met? Jackpot. I wonder. Or not. That'll be my little secret. One of many. By the way, you live with your sister, right? Rin? Yeah, I've been taking care of her because her parents spend a lot of time at work. Although sometimes it's the other way around. Sometimes you spend a lot of time at work? You know what I mean. I'm kidding. And hey, it must be nice to have such a caring sibling. I smirk as I remember the plethora of threats and special attacks she come up with over the years. It's not as nice as you think. Sure, she can cook and do household chores, but when you have to explain to your teacher why your sister showed up in class yelling, "Look, Oni-chan, my friend taught me how to do the god finger," it can be quite a hassle. Mira chuckles at my misery. Well, I guess it's pretty funny in retrospect. Still, she cares about you. You should be happy. That smile was almost enough to make me forget my original mission. Almost. Why do you say that? Are you an only child, Mira? Sort of, I guess. Do you know what a yes-no question is? Well, it's a complicated situation. Ah, I see. How so? I wonder when she'll realize that I'm more patient than her. Ah. Well, you see, my family isn't quite an ordinary family. We're different. But not so different that we're not ordinary, you know? No, I don't. To put it simply, it's like walking home from school and having to decide between going to your small 2-bedroom apartment where your family treats you kindly, or your uncle's mansion filled with books and electronics and everything else, except you all be all by yourself. Kinda like that, except different, because I don't really have an uncle and my parents don't live in a 2-bedroom apartment. That's what you call putting it simply? So basically, I tried to summarize the story so far and I realized I haven't learned a single thing other than where to go for free books. Confused? Don't worry, a lot of people have trouble understanding me at first. I wonder whose fault that is. There's no rush though, we've got our whole lives ahead of us. She teases a smile out of me. I admit defeat. But if I ever want to talk to you, what should I do? I mean, walking all the way to school at night is kind of impractical. Do you have a cell phone or anything? Don't worry about it. Contacting you will be my job. That's what I do best. Stalking me is what you do best. Don't make it sound like a crime. I won't even bother. But really, is there anything that you want from me? Our eyes meet and I see something. I was mistaken the other night. This girl isn't angelic or ghostly at all. She's very, very human. I don't want anything specific from you, or anything tangible. I'm just happy that we can finally be together. But is there anything you wish for? Maybe. She bites her tongue, pondering as if choosing the course of her life. All I really want is for things to stay the way they were. They are. I'm happy. If that's the case, I'll do my best to help you fulfill your wish. Promise. Thank you. It was nice talking to you, Mark. It was a pleasure indeed. Mind giving me a little warning before you show up next time? Just leave it to me. Ah, sorry, this might be important. I reached into my pocket and looked down at the display. A squirrel dots up the tree in the corner of my eye. It's from Rin. They're probably wondering where I am. Hey, Mira? I don't know what to expect before I look up. In that case, you better keep your promise. Find me, okay? You better find me. I make my declaration to a backdrop of snow-covered trees. The twilight sky slowly fades. It's gotten really late, really fast. I'm walking towards the subway station where I agreed to meet up with Rin and Lucas, but everything keeps looping through my mind. Mira. I don't trust her. I can't, and I shouldn't. But considering how things turned out, I should be happy. I still don't know where she's from or how she knows me or... Well, I really don't know anything. I don't know anything, but she's less of a mystery. Maybe meeting her wasn't such a bad coincidence after all. Maybe. Alright, so that's day 2 of Sepia Tears. Join me in the next part where we'll continue on and see where this leads. So thank you for watching. This has been Sepia Tears. Coro out.